Teenagers have been proven time and time again to be very irresponsible, so the legal drinking age should not be lowered to 18. At the age of 21, they are officially adults and are more mature than when they were 18. Therefore, they can make smarter decisions like not drinking and driving. Too many accidents have occurred due to drunk driving and especially underage drinking. There are other reasons why lowering the drinking age should not be supported. One of which is that it encourages drinking at a young age or at a younger age. If the drinking age is lowered to 18, then younger kids at the age of 17 or 16 who already think they are grown up would think it is okay to drink. Some of them might even argue that they are as mature as an 18-year-old and that they should be allowed to drink. Of course, this will never happen because 17 and 16-year-old kids are still just kids, and kids should not be allowed to drink alcohol. These kids' brains are being developed, and for someone to give them alcohol, who knows what the side effects will be on them in the future. For one, alcohol can cause liver damage in them at an early age, and by the time they are 25 to 30 years old, they might need a new liver, or they might even die. Why would anyone do this to a child? Here we have a child drinking alcohol. Imagine the side effects on him when he is and he looks to be about 5 years old or 6. Imagine the side effects on him when he gets to be, let's say, 15 or even 17 years old. He might be needing a new liver by the time he's 20, 21. These kids' brains, Teenagers do not always know what is good for them and often end up making the wrong decisions. This is another reason why this should not be supported. Because teenagers are often wrong in decision making and they think that is right in making the wrong decision that is right in their heads. When they consume too much alcohol, they are at risk for alcohol poisoning. Open quote. Analyzed data in 2010 from the FBI, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported that on death related to alcohol usage, to underage alcohol use, 9% was alcohol poisoning. Ended quote. This was taken from the USA Today news. Oftentimes there are parties with teenagers where there are competitions and dares to see who can drink the most alcohol in a matter of minutes, which can lead to a number of things happening. And here you can see teenagers sitting around in just a social event, drinking. I think this is alcohol in the glass as well, but just drinking beer and socializing. A number of things. This can result in a number of tragedies for these kids. Such as alcohol poisoning, a lot of kids getting in the driver's seat drunk, or someone getting raped, depending on where the party is held. Open quote. In the town of Steubenville, Trent Mays, 17, and Malik Richmond, 16, were found guilty of raping a drunk 16-year-old. And this was, end quote, this was taken from CNN News. There are so many different effects, to teenagers drinking alcohol. Fires, drowning, car accidents, even developing a drinking problem. And here I have a result of a teenager getting into a car after he's drunk and driving. I don't think he survived. I couldn't find the rest of the news whether he survived or not, but he was critically injured in this accident. Teens who drink are more likely to engage in unprotected sex or even sex with a stranger, which can cause them to get an STD. Some of them even start abusing drugs, such as marijuana or heroin. Open quote. Drinking and drug use may begin a lot early for a lot of young Americans. A new study shows that by the time most teens reach late adolescence, most of them have drunk alcohol and abused illicit substances. End quote. This was taken from CBS News. If the legal drinking age is lowered, this would be happening to a lot more kids, and this is something that we have to do. We have to do something about this. So many teens are killed each year because of their drinking and driving. Open quote. There were 2 car accidents this weekend that both involved underage drinking and driving. 19-year-old Travis Perez of Broken Arrow was killed after he crashed into a utility pole. His passenger was Darren Lee Wilton of Broken Arrow. Wilton was taken to St. Francis in stable condition, and this was taken from Fox 23 News. This is happening every year. So why would anyone support lowering the drinking age? If anything, there should be stricter laws against it. Everyone involved in a teenager's life is affected by whatever happens to that teen. Whether it is the parents who sometimes sacrifice so much for their kids only to have them taken away by drugs and alcohol, or the friends and teachers who watch them grow and want the best for them. No one wants to lose a loved one at such a young age. The teen's life is also affected when he or she drinks. His or her schoolwork, relationships, hope of a bright future. Open quote. Jessica Rasdal and Laura Gorman of St. Petersburg, Florida, were inseparable through their childhood and teenage years. My name is Jessica Rasdal, and on February 25th, 2006, I killed my best friend. Laura Ann Gorman died in the passenger seat of my car. I wish I could take her place that night. Rasdal told Elizabeth Vargas of 2020 in an interview before she went to prison. I would give anything to have been the one in the passenger seat that night. Absolutely. No questions asked. I would give anything to bring my friend back. This was taken from ABC News. And you can see how devastated this girl is because she was responsible for her friend's death. Because she got into the car drunk and started driving. I have never lost anyone to drunk driving, nor have I been close with a teen that died as a cause of it. I have grown with friends that had problems with drugs and alcohol, and it was not always great. They seem to be obsessed with it at such a young age. Teens should not be allowed to drink because of the different effects it can have on their lives. And we go back to the little boy drinking at such a young age and just hoping that he does not need a new liver in the future. And back to what can happen when teenagers drink and get in front of the wheel. And there were other effects that were mentioned, such as rape, and we don't want these for our young children. They deserve a better future than that. Yes, teens should not be allowed to drink because of the different effects it can have on their lives. No lowering of the legal drinking age. Our kids are our future, and therefore we should protect them. This has been my speech about not lowering the drinking age to 18. And this was some of my sources were from the CNN News, CBS News, USA Today, ABC News, Fox 23 News.